basically.
Okay, now let me just do this. Oh, wait.
I'm live on Facebook now too.
Michael.
Hi, Michael. We're about to call you. All right.
Okay. And then let me just do this. Oh, no.
Okay. Having technical difficulties here.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, he should be coming up soon.
Should be coming up. Did we?
I
All right.
invited him.
I've invited Michael Rapaport. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm giving updates as to what's happening in Israel, live updates right now. So I'm just going to, before Michael comes in, Shani, can you take a look and make sure that he's coming in? So, sorry, hang on.
Smart.
Always.
Oh, hold on, he's right there.
Oh, no, it's not good because it's making...
Hold on.
I apologize. It's probably going to be a lot of cursing when Michael gets on. Okay. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and hi, Michael.
How are you?
I'm not good. I'm not good. Not good.
Yeah, I know.
This
Where
is not
are you?
good. What?
Go ahead.
I'm in Los Angeles. I was going to go to Israel for a family wedding, my niece's wedding, on Friday. I was going to go on Monday. The wedding was supposed to happen on Friday. He was drafted. Her future husband, who's 26 years old, was drafted. My nephew was drafted, and they are now fighting Hamas terrorists in the south. Do you know what's happening? Are you following what's been going on?
I have been following all day, and I've been following you and following the other news. Explain again, what's happening and why you think it's happening and like what's happening. I break it down again, like as where we are now. And I think, Noah, so many people, including myself, don't have context, historical context. But can you give me, the most recent historical context? Because if you're giving it to me, you're giving it to the layman.
Okay, so let's just start with what's been happening this morning. So this morning at 6:30 in the morning, Israel time, it's a Saturday morning and it's a holiday. Israel was surprised by what seems to be a missile and rockets attacked, but was actually a land, air, and water invasion of Hamas terrorists that are attacking Israel in an unprecedented and coordinated attack. Hamas is the terrorist organization that is holding Gaza under siege. Hamas is the terrorist organization that is practicing Sharia law, that is interested in wiping Israel off the map and killing every Jew. The reason I know this is because this is in the Hamas charter. So this is not something that Hamas has been hiding. These are the extremists of the extremists. They're sponsored by Iran. So this entire operation is actually sponsored and coordinated by Iran. Hamas broke the border with Gaza first thing in the morning with bulldozers. They had dozens and dozens of trucks and motorcycles that have driven into Israel with armed terrorists, and they took over towns and villages in kibbutzim, knocking door to door, picking up women, children, the elderly, and either slaughtering them or taking them to Gaza and parading them around like animals. Here's the thing. I'm a liberal. I live and work in Hollywood. I wrote a book about Israel. Anybody that read the book or that has been following me knows that I'm self-described pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian. These things are not mutually exclusive. There are a lot of people within the Palestinian Authority and with the Palestinian people that don't want to be under Hamas rule. But the fact of the matter is that Gaza is under the control of a terrorist organization, a murderous terrorist organization. Now, there's no talking to them. This is not a political debate. They're not interested in a two-state solution. They're not interested in finding a solution for everybody to live together at kumbaya. No, they're interested in, this is a religious war that is driven by religious ideology that is about killing Jews. And this is a terrible thing because as a Jewish activist, I have been talking about this for a very long time, and it's very difficult because it seems like Israel is the big bad wolf of the region, right? It seems like Israel is the strong, it's a superpower and all of that. And like people are like, oh, Israel's always, and people have the concept of what the Jewish people are as well. So it kind of goes, if you have a subconscious bias about what you think the Jewish people are, so if it literally sounds like the Jews have all the power and the Jews have
Right.
all the money and the Jews have all, you know, if you have this kind of like, and again, it's a subconscious bias, like we all have subconscious bias about like the other, any other.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that subconscious bias about the Jewish people, that's going to affect your opinion about Israel. That's what you're going to think. And that's what I've been dealing with for so long. And as an Israeli American, I was born and raised in Israel. I've been living in America for like over 20 years, right? So I'm 100% Israeli and I'm 100% American. And I've been trying to explain this to people for so long because I moved here as a young liberal actress, producer, and writer. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody knows that Israel's amazing. And I had to come to terms with the fact that some people don't understand that not all cultures are the same. They just don't. There's no, Hamas is not, this is not a doctrine. This is not people, this is not, they're not like us in America or Western civilization. They're not. They have started this attack on Israel, hundreds of them, as a suicide mission. And they're going into Israel in order to be killed. And according to their doctrine, they're going to have 72 virgins in heaven. And this is not some sort of a, it's not hyperbole. It's not hyperbole, I'm not exaggerating. That's what we're dealing with. So obviously on a everyday, I've also been critical of Israeli government actions. You know, I got fired from an Israeli government position because I was critical of Israeli government actions. There's nothing wrong with criticizing Israeli government's actions or politicians or liking Yair Lapid or Bibi Netanyahu or not liking this or liking that. But denying Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state, as the homeland of the Jewish people, is anti-Semitic. It just is. And we're dealing with groups that are murderous, anti-Semitic, religious, extremist, Islamic extreme. It's ISIS. It's ISIS.
Right.
And what we're dealing with right now, Michael and everybody else, we're dealing with the Israeli Pearl Harbor in 9/11. That kind of a meltdown. So right now there are confirmed over 250 slaughtered, over 250 confirmed. It's probably a whole lot more. Over 1,500 wounded. Again, we're talking men, women, and children. We're not talking about, this is not a military to military. This is, just imagine that you're in New York and you're in your apartment and you're lying down and there's a terrorist knocking on your door and with an M16 coming to slaughter you. That's it.
And contextualize the parts of Israel that have been attacked today, Saturday. What are they like in comparison to, like, you know, if you would say, well, this is like New Jersey, or this is like a suburb, you know, just like, can you contextualize like what they're like?
It's exactly
like those parts of
that. It's exactly that. It's like they were attacking New Jersey, and they're attacking Bakersfield, and they're attacking San Diego, and they're attacking outside. First of all, they're attacking Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, right? So they're launching, in addition to the ground, air, and sea attacks, there were over 5,000 rockets and missiles that have been firing into Israel, all across Israel, including Tel Aviv. So it's rockets and missiles into New York and LA, and terrorist attacks into San Diego. That's what's happening.
And for a lot of people, like the smallness of Israel, because we say Israel, it sounds like, you know, as Americans, we contextualize, we know America the best, you know, no matter how, you know, the size of it. So just explain how small Israel actually is. It's like the size of the state of New Jersey.
Israel is the size of New Jersey. So
which
you
is an
can
important
drive.
thing to understand.
Yeah.
You know, like that, it's not like this ginormous place. It's a small place.
Yeah.
And also these attacks, there was no conversations, there was no warnings, there was no F you, there was no government. It just happened, correct?
Just happened. Out of the blue, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. just happened out of the blue. There's no negotiating with Hamas. This is what I've been saying, and we've been all saying for a very long time, because then I go on American campus and they say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And that is a call to ethnically cleanse the Jews from their ancestral land. That is what Hamas is after. So Israel is the size of New Jersey. You can drive from north to south of Israel in 8 hours and from east to west in 20 minutes. That's the entire size of Israel. It's surrounded by enemies. It has Hamas, aka Iran, on the borders in the south and in the north, and Israel's been under attack since the day it was created, and since before that. And the Palestinian people, bless their heart, they've been rejectionists from day one. And this is not again, this is what we've been saying, that everybody is like, we hate Israel, we did this, Israel is this, Israel that, and I'm like, why is there no Palestine yet? Why is there no Palestine? Israel offered Palestinians a state dozens of times, and they keep saying no. And why do they keep saying no? Because they want Palestine to be free from the river to the sea. The river is the Jordan River, the sea is the Mediterranean Sea. That's where Israel is at. And it's so frustrating because of what I do. I've been yapping about this for so long, and people just don't, they're like, no, Israel's terrible. Again, this misconception of the Jews having all the power. And kind of going, we're dealing with a doctrine here that cannot be rationaled. You can't talk sense into Hamas. You can't be like, well, Hamas, how about I give you a great life and have more workers coming into Israel and let's negotiate peace. No, they just took children ages 2, 5, 14, 16, mothers, elderly woman that is a Holocaust survivor. They took them hostages into Gaza and paraded them around like fucking monsters. That's what they're doing. So there's no two sides here. There's no let me understand the other side here. There is no what is the other. There's none of this right now. This is so self-evident that if you are not supporting Israel on days like this, you're insane. You're insane. That's it. You can hate on Bibi as much as you want.
Right.
Not today.
Right.
And by the way, I'm still getting on my feed Palestinian flags with hearts and laughter.
I get. I mean, I'm sure you get crazier shit than me. I get all day the DMs and I mean it's I mean all day, and I think that so I know how uneducated and I am. And I'm aware of that, and that's why I come to you and like I ask questions, and I even ask people that when people say this, that, and the third about Palestine, I go explain it, and a lot of it goes nowhere. I like to ask questions, and
of course. Can I tell you something that's going to blow people's minds?
Go ahead.
There's never been a Palestine.
Explain
Here's a
that.
little crazy truth that people literally brain goes bzz, bzz. There has never been a Palestine. Let me say that again. Not that there shouldn't be, but there has never been a Palestine. Palestine is in reference to a geographical location that stretched from the Mediterranean Sea all the way to Syria up north and Iraq down south and east. That name was created and given by the Romans in 74 AD after the Great Jewish Roman War in order to disconnect the connection between the Jews and their land. So this was in 74 AD, this was years before Islam was even dreamt over, and the Romans have named it Palestine. There has never been a Palestine. Again, not that there shouldn't be. There just never has been. And for everybody to be like, bring back Palestine, we're like, this is new. This is all new. Help us out here. Let's find a way for both nations to live in peace. That's not what Hamas is after. That's not what Palestinian extremists are after. And I really hope that today that is coming to light. Because again, if you're posting Palestinian flags, if you're now sending us all these hate messages, you need to take a very deep look into your eyes right now and into your soul. Because
deep look in
parading
souls.
Women around, uploading them on trucks, women and children. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. I understand. So what do you? I know you're not a fortune teller. Is there any end to this?
Well, Israel's going to win this because the Jewish people have been around for thousands of years. This is not our first rodeo. Okay, so we're used to being persecuted. We're used to being discriminated against, and we're used to this. What's happening right now, all this crazy, insane demonization of the state of Israel that's been happening in the past like couple of decades, we know this. We know this. So Israel is going to win this, okay? But before we figure out what the end of this is, we need the situation to unfold, because there's still a hostage situation that's happening right now in Israel. Hamas is still holding civilians under hostage. It is now 1 a.m. in Israel. This started at 6:30 a.m. and it is still unfolding right now. So the first thing to do, without thinking about anything political or what next, is to solve this crisis right now. And to be honest, the Palestinian people as a national movement need to figure out what it is that they want. The Palestinian people as a national movement need to figure out what it is that they want, because if they want a two-state solution and Israel living side by side peacefully with a Palestinian state, we can probably have this conversation at some point, not anytime soon. But if they're going to keep saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, we're going to keep having this problem.
Shit.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible. I'm sorry. I don't mean to curse. I know that a
You don't have to
lot of people
apologize
don't know
about
the
cursing.
history of how we got to this. I understand that a lot of people are going after, they listen to social media. They listen to, they listen to celebrities. They listen to Bella Hadids of the world, and they listen to them and they go, oh, that must be true. And the level of misinformation about Israel, the level of disinformation, the level of demonization, this is to me just a Monday. Do you know? Like
Right.
I deal with this all day long, every single day. So it's not surprising that this is happening. And sadly, when something like this is happening, what is so obvious, it is so obvious. Try to tell me how you would defend taking an elderly woman, putting her on a truck, taking her hostage into the Gaza Strip, putting an M16 on her, and then taking a photo next to her with this. Hey, with a demented Holocaust survivor woman in her 90s. God knows how old she is. Tell me how you do that. The other thing that I need to tell everybody, there was a nature party, there was a rave that was happening in the South. It's a very famous rave that happens every Sukkot. 3,000 people. There were a lot of DJs from international DJs that were there. This was probably targeted because they knew this was happening. And as they broke the border, the Israeli border between Gaza and Israel, they had motorcycles and trucks that drove directly into that party, into that rave, and started indiscriminately shooting people. It was a massacre. What's happening right now in Israel is a massacre. That's what's happening.
Damn.
It's Israel's 9/11. It's a massacre. It's full on. It's monstrous. It's absolutely monstrous. Ask everything and anything, please.
What is your feelings? This is where I know things get, like it's like a whole other thing. What are your feelings? Like a lot of people have said to me, Biden, this is Biden, this is Biden, this is Obama. How
Biden?
Yes.
Explain to me how is this Biden's fault?
That's what people, that's why I'm asking you, because people, this is what I get. It's Biden. It's these are dum-dums in my, this is just what they say.
This has nothing to do with
And then when you
Biden.
ask questions, when you ask questions to dum-dums, they don't give you a response. So
a lot of people don't know a lot of things today, and sadly we live in a world, we live in a post-truth world, and I always been saying that Israel is patient zero in the post-truth world, because I've just been seeing this for so many years. Look, this is not Biden's fault, this is not Obama's fault, this is not Trump's fault, this is nobody's fault. This is the fault of a murderous radical Islamist doctrine that has been allowed to spread throughout the Middle East, and the Wahhabism in Saudi Arabia, and those extremists, and the Iranian, and the Iranian regime. These two are fighting against each other, and right now they have realized that there has been talks between Israel and Saudi Arabia. And every time that there was a possibility of peace, the extremist Palestinians are sabotaging it. This happened around the Oslo Accord as well. The reason the Oslo Accord fell through and never took place is because Palestinian extremists started terrorist attacks all over Israel. They were exploding bombs on buses. So I wake up in the morning one morning and 22 people get killed on a bus, literally 6 minutes from my house when I was like, you know, a very young adult, right? That's what's happening. And there's a conversation with Saudi Arabia that's happening right now. So of course they need to stop that because they are not interested in peace. That is the thing that I need people to understand. They are not interested in peace. They're interested in slaughtering Jews. They've been walking from one house to the next this morning. Up until now, there's a hostage situations that are happening right now, looking for Jews to slaughter. I don't know how to describe this in better words. Like, this is not, again, if you're posting Palestinian flags right now and you're doing a laughing, you are literally a monster. I have nothing to say. This has nothing to do. You can hate on the Israeli government as much as you want. You can say that the West Bank should be Palestine. I don't disagree. You can hate Bibi. You can do whatever you want. But right now, today, stand with Israel. Stand with Israel.
People don't want to do that.
Listen, I think I'm to some extent defaulting into like being aggressive because I'm just so fucking scared.
Right.
Just
I don't think you're being. It's good that you're aggressive, and it's good that you articulate yourself the way you articulate yourself. It needs to be done, and you know,
keep Islam
shouldn't.
out of your mouth. Why would I keep Islam out of my mouth? Why do I keep Judaism out of my mouth? Do I keep Christianity out of my mouth? Why would I keep Islam out of my mouth?
Right.
This is what this is. It's Sharia law driven terrorist organization that wants to slaughter Jews and clean Israel. Do you know what they say in their charter? They say in their charter that the day will come and we're going to go and perform jihad and all the Jews, and we'll kill all the Jews except for, and the Jews will hide behind the trees, and the tree will say, oh Jew, oh Muslim, come and get me, except for the Jewish trees. Like, their charter talks about Jewish trees and murdering Jews. And that's the Hamas charter. Everybody just Google now, Hamas charter. It's all in the open. Like, they're not, you know, that's the thing. Nothing has been hidden. They've been engaging, like the Western media has been engaging in West-splaining this doctrine. There's no West-splaining the Hamas doctrine. It's a murderous, it's like try to West-plain ISIS right now. Just try to explain why it's okay to behead people. Try to explain why it's okay to murder men, women, and children, and to take hostage elderly women. And there was a picture of a mom with her 2 babies that they've taken hostage. The photos have been, the videos, it's just, yeah, that video.
Aside following, you know, where do you suggest people, like, you know, watch and get the most detailed information that's going on? Like, where can people follow? Like, where do you watch? Like, where's the most, you know, sensible place to watch, or places or sources?
If you could see my office right now, I have like Israeli news open and CNN open and this open and a bunch of everything. I watch the news in Hebrew because right now they're giving the most accurate and verified information. I'm also in a lot of WhatsApp groups. Sadly, I'm going on CNN later on today, so you can start watching CNN. They're starting to become a little bit more balanced on their coverage. Earlier, they were reporting 70. They said 70 Israelis killed. It's not 70 Israelis killed. That was like 250 Israelis slaughtered in cold blood. And I was just like, I posted the story going, no, it's not 70. What are you doing? So I gotta say, international media is not doing a great job reporting on this. There's no equivocation. I've seen headlines all over the world that looks like Israel attacks Gaza. If you start with Israel attacks Gaza after what's happened today, you are insane. You are part of the problem. So this is not Israel.
You're sick.
You're sick. You're sick. This is not Israel attacks Gaza. This is Israel has been under assault. Period. Israeli children and women
on a
and
Saturday
elderly.
morning. On a Saturday morning.
Saturday morning on a holiday. By the way, 50 years and 1 day from the Yom Kippur War, which was the war that 50 years ago, all of the militaries of the region have attacked Israel in order to destroy it. So we have been through this before. Israel has been through this before. The Jewish people has been through this before. We've been through this before. But heart goes out to everyone. This is insane.
And now there's going to be a lot of it's going to be very violent, and
Very.
then that it's going to be very violent.
Very.
And I mean it's
going to be
crazy.
very violent. And you know what we've been saying? I actually posted this many times. Free Gaza from Hamas. Free Gaza from Hamas. Because in Gaza, there are Palestinian people that don't want to be under Hamas rule. There are Palestinian people in Gaza that don't want to be under Hamas rule. And sadly, they don't have a choice. And here's the thing. Hamas wants collateral damage. They put their ammunition under schools and hospitals. They want as many casualties that they possibly can. Again, because you're dealing with a doctrine that doesn't mind to die. Not only are they not afraid of dying, they want to die because of the 72 virgins that they will be getting in heaven. Again, not hyperbole, not exaggeration, actual doctrine. So you're dealing with an enemy that is not afraid to die. What can you do with an enemy that's not afraid to die? How do you suggest as an American to deal with that?
All right, well, keep giving all this information, and I'll keep coming back on here, and I'll keep, I appreciate all this, the information and just everything, Noah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for speaking truth out there on everything.
Of course.
Thank you.
And you're a brave woman.
See, thank you so much for saying that I'm brave. But here's the sad part. We're living in a world right now in which it's considered to be brave to defend the single consistent democracy in the Middle East.
Right.
It's brave.
I know it's fucking stupid. I know it's stupid. It's
ridiculous. It's bravery.
But people don't know. I know exactly what you mean. People, I don't know what that is. Or is that you? I know exactly what you mean. Just to speak on what's real.
Thank you.
I know what you mean.
No, but I want people to actually get that and have that land as well. People are telling me, oh my God, you're so brave all the time. And I'm like, how am I brave when I'm literally defending a democracy that has freedom of speech, freedom of human rights, women's rights, LGBT plus, gay people are getting murdered in Gaza, and I'm defending Israel and I'm brave. That's how twisted the world is today. And that hopefully will stop. Hopefully people will start understanding and realizing what kind of doctrine we're dealing with, what kind of people we're dealing with, what kind of reality Israel woke up to today.
I'll be on here tomorrow for you.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Keep posting.
Thank you for everything,
the shit, Noah. All right.
What's that?
I said keep posting everything.
Fuck yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right.
A couple things.
Yeah.
One, I created a broadcast channel on Instagram that we are now collaborators of. Everybody can follow for all the resources.
Great.
So as this is going, you guys can join the broadcast channel. We're sending everything in there. And then this is verified information. I just got this from someone. It's actually quite crazy.
Okay. We're reading some verified information. Oh, God. For real?
No, seriously, this is verified. 100%. Okay. This is crazy.
How? Sorry.
But read this. This is how it all started. It's crazy.
Yeah. I just heard that. I just heard that.
You heard that?
Yep.
We should have known.
I don't know.
No?
But it's like...
Maybe not.
Hang on.
How crazy is that?
I just heard that. Listen, so we're getting unverified reports. I'm just gonna say that it's unverified reports that the reason that there's been so much confusion and such a mess this morning is because this has been coordinated attack by Hamas and also a cyber attack by Iran. So this is an unverified report, but a cyber attack by Iran first thing in the morning that they attacked the IDF, and it seemed like a lot of confusion was caused by that. Again, this is unverified information, so giving it to you with a grain of salt right there. Where is the live feed? Oh, there it is. Yeah, no, for the channel. Yeah, for Israel. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Okay, anybody have questions? Let's answer your questions.
And then we also have a couple people that we can bring up.
Oh, you want to bring them up? Let's bring them up.
Yeah, so the first person we bring up is a birthday request.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Okay, Ofer, I just invited you. Let's see if we got it.
All right. Okay. All right. By the way, I'm wearing this t-shirt, and I'm going to be wearing this t-shirt all day long. It's the Gaza Envelope Task Force. So just remind you that, you know. Get them on.
Hold on.
Okay, so should give another update.
Yeah, why don't you give another
Okay,
update while I
Barry.
work on this?
Okay.
Yeah, oh, Belly,
There's
where's this
Barry.
from? Hold
Yeah.
on. Here, Ofer.
So there's Ofer. Are you here?
Yeah, Ofer. Hold on. He's joining. His English is like 80% if he needs any translation.
Okay, great. So it looks like the hostages in Barry were just freed. Hi, Ofer.
Oh, amazing.
Hey,
How are you?
could be better.
Where are you?
How are you? I'm in the center of Israel.
Okay. And how did you wake up this morning?
I actually woke up from the notifications on the phone.
Okay.
And then 5 minutes later, the siren went off. I live in Ramat Gan.
Yeah. So that's in the center of the country. That's just, yep.
Yeah. So it started like just a normal siren day of missiles, rockets, the thing that we're used to, right? And I have a lot of
Israelis
family.
are used to rockets coming in from Hamas. That's just like a thing.
It's just we sip our coffee in the morning and run for shelter.
Yeah.
That's the basic thing. Yeah. And then I have a lot of family in the south, so I have family in Sderot and I have family in Be'eri.
Yeah. What are they saying? They're in Be'eri right now?
So they were in Be'eri until not long ago. I think maybe 30 minutes ago, the army just rescued them.
Is everybody safe?
I still have my nephew and my brother-in-law missing from the morning. Yeah, it's been a hectic day, very hectic day.
So they've been missing from this morning. Where were they?
So my brother-in-law is actually on the alert team in Kibbutz Be'eri. So they called him as soon as it started, and then he left, and my sister can't reach him when he's on duty. But then we can't really reach him until now. And my nephew just finished a shift. He works in a security company. Finished the shift. He went back home after a 12-hour shift, and then they called him to go back. And then on his way back, we lost contact with him near Kibbutz Niram in the south. Yeah. And we don't know where he is now.
So again, just so you understand, what Ofer is describing is the part of the chaos and the lack of knowledge and lack of information that is happening in Israel right now. His two family members that are missing in the south currently, but Kibbutz Be'eri. So you have people in Kibbutz Be'eri that were released, that were freed.
Yeah. So the thing is that in the kibbutz, the way it works is that teenagers get their own apartments as teenagers. So all my family was basically each in their own apartment. So my nephews three nephews were in each of their apartments. My sister and a young nephew, my brother and his wife, all in different apartments, in the secure room in their house.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. It was just crazy because they sent us voice recordings of just get help, please, and they couldn't like really talk to us. They just had to whisper everything. And it was crazy because each of them lives in a different area in the kibbutz, and each of them is like, just get help to this direction now, get call for help. And then we tried reaching the police, we tried reaching the army, we tried reaching reporters, everything we could, just to get to inform them about all the family members that are there.
Yeah, that has been going on for many, many hours. They were hostage situations happening all over the south of the country. And so at least Kibbutz Be'eri is at least freed. Hamas took over 20 kibbutzim and towns in the morning. Yeah. And some of them have been freed and some of them have not. So this is a situation that is still unfolding in Israel.
Do we know which ones are not free?
Sure.
No, we don't. I think they still, yeah, they're keeping it all pretty murky. 1,600 wounded, at least 250 slaughtered. Israeli men, women, and children slaughtered, and we're talking about dozens and dozens and dozens of kidnapped young women and children, elderly, into Gaza right now. Ofer, toda. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Toda.
Stay in.
Thank you.
And I'm still getting Palestinian flags and free Palestine. People are sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are sick.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ofer.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye. Okay. Update from, yes, Michael. We're going to do it again for more updates. Absolutely. All right. So another recap of what's been going on. Do you know how, Shani, how do I get back? And I think Ofer is still on.
Oh, Ofer, you have to exit it.
Can you exit, Ofer?
Yeah, it takes a second. Instagram is actually very slow.
Instagram is very slow. It's the first time I've done it.
Because you can see he left. It's just like waiting for it to.
Yeah.
Okay. Should be.
Shani and I have opened a war room here.
We have actually opened a war
We
room.
really have. Listen, do what you can. Do what you can.
Oh, there we go.
I told my son today, I told him that family members have gone out to defend Israel. And he said, they're risking themselves? I said, yes. He goes, they're heroes. I said, yep, yes, they are. And then when they went to class, I was like, family member are defending Israel, and I'm defending Israel here as much as I can. Okay, a recap of what's been unfolding in Israel since the morning. It is now 1:30 in the morning, Israel time. Since 6:30 in the morning, there has been an unprecedented coordinated attack by Hamas terrorists on Israel under the masking of rockets and missiles fired into Israel. Hundreds and hundreds of terrorists have broke the border with Gaza and taken trucks, motorcycles, gliders to glide into Israel, and boats to try to get into Israel through the sea. They have infiltrated, invaded Israel. Hundreds of terrorists have invaded Israel and started walking in cities and towns and kibbutzim and knocking door from door and taking hostages and slaughtering people. This is a coordinated attack that is waged on civilians. They also took hostage dozens and dozens of people. The numbers are unclear yet, but we are talking about women and children and babies, young women, children, and babies. They're parading them on the streets of Gaza, and there are celebrations all over the streets of Gaza right now. So, we love it. Yeah.
Fireworks in Gaza.
Oh, fireworks in Gaza?
Like
Yeah, they're celebrating.
at Disneyland.
Yeah. So when we have been saying that we are dealing with a doctrine that is murderous and a doctrine that is not interested in anything other than the slaughter of Jewish people, women and children, this is exactly what we meant. This is exactly what we meant. And I've been doing this work for many, many years, and I know that I hope at least today the majority of people understand this, because if you're not standing with Israel in a day like this, you're insane. And that goes to you, all of you, people that are sending me Israeli flags and laughter on the feed. Okay. We don't have any more update. We're getting a lot of unconfirmed update on a big cyber attack. That this was an Iranian cyber attack, coordinated Iranian cyber attack. This, sadly, it succeeded to Hamas beyond their wildest dreams. So there are going to be a lot of questions asked, but that's later on. And the situation needs to stabilize first. All right, I'm going to read a few of my messages.
There's also somebody else that wants to know if she's still there. I'm going to confront her.
Yeah.
It's crazy. She had a coworker that was at Nova.
Okay. Cyber attack is not, it's not at all confirmed. Yeah. All right.
Okay, I'm going to try and bring Elia on.
Is Elia in Israel?
Yeah, and her coworker was at
the party?
At Nova.
Did she speak to them?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
What is your dog's name?
Her name is Callie.
Hello.
Hi, Elia. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Where are you?
I am in Hadera, so
Okay.
I'm relatively far, yeah.
Yeah.
But many of my coworkers, as well as my boyfriend, are right now, well, part of them are in reserve and part, yeah. So,
Are you?
my boyfriend has told me to stress the fact that blood donations are very, very crucial and important right now.
Okay.
And
Blood
they
donations.
are, yes.
Okay.
They are a very, very important thing that we can do as civilians to try and mitigate the damages right now.
Okay. So
yeah.
this is for Israelis. אם אתם רואים עכשיו את הפיד הזה, תלכו לתרום דם. עכשיו ברגע זה תלכו לתרום דם. Immediately.
I think my coworker was actually at the party. The Nova, yeah.
Have you
He
found?
described to me like a horrific scene. It was running away, like terrified for their lives, seeing bodies, live fire just shot at them.
And he just ran for his life? He
ran for his life. They ran for kilometers. I assume it was the adrenaline kind of getting them going. They got to a police station, and he was immediately drafted to reserve.
Oh. Yeah. Can you say what he does in reserve, or you can't?
He is in Shirion.
Okay. So what you're describing right now is a rave that was taking place in Israel. It's a Sukkot rave that's happening every year in the south of the country. 3,000 young adults were partying, basically a nature party, it's called in Israel, and it was targeted by Hamas terrorists. So imagine you are at a party, at a rave, and Hamas terrorists drive through the party with motorcycles and trucks and start to indiscriminately shoot at everybody else. So that was what your coworker experienced, and he escaped.
Yeah.
And he survived.
I had a question for you. I was wondering, what do you think the situation with the hostages is going to end up as? Do you think there is a chance that we could get them back, or do you think it's doomed?
I think one of the worst things that's happening right now is the hostage situation. Israel is very clear to never leave anybody behind, and Israel was caught surprised with what is reported to be dozens and dozens of hostages that have been taken into Israel. Now, usually, meaning in 1973, 50 years ago, Israel was dealing with hostages that were military. So there were hostages, prisoners of war, there were pilots and prisoners of wars, there were fighters, and those were the hostages. Now we're dealing with hostages that are young girls, teens, babies, the elderly. We're not dealing with prisoners of war. We're dealing with monstrous organizations that have taken over children. So this is, and many of them. So I obviously don't have the answer for this, but this is, to say that this is unprecedented is an understatement of the century. This has never, ever, ever happened before. When we've been dealing in Israel before with Hulia, with Hadira, with the infiltration of terrorists, which Israel has been dealing with that before. We're talking one group infiltrating the country. This is hundreds of terrorists that have infiltrated the country. So this is unprecedented. Again, to say that it's unprecedented is the understatement of the century, but this is what's happening right now. So over 250 murdered, slaughtered, cold-blooded slaughtered, over 1,600 wounded. This is Israel's Pearl Harbor. This is Israel's 9/11. That's what everybody needs to understand. This is a murderous regime and a murderous doctrine that is being displayed in broad daylight. And anybody who has a heart or eyes, this is so self-evident that it feels like I don't need to say anything. But that's what I think about that. And in terms of the hostage, we have no idea how this unfolds.
Yeah. Thank you.
No idea. Yeah. Well, you stay safe. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Stay safe, stay indoors.
Thank you.
I'm glad, and I'm praying for your boyfriend and members of my family as well.
I'm praying for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not entirely sure what to say anymore. They still are fighting in the police station in Sderot. So just imagine that you're sitting in your home in New Jersey or in Chicago or in Detroit or in San Diego. You're at home, it's Saturday morning at 6:30 in the morning, and you get woken up with a knock on the door and somebody breaking into your house and coming in to kidnap you. And this is happening all around you in every single neighborhood and home. And this is what has been happening in Israel. Unprecedented, coordinated attack by terrorist organization Hamas on Israeli cities, towns, civilians. Hamas terrorists had taken, we don't know how many, but dozens and dozens of hostages, not prisoners of war, not soldiers, I mean, soldiers as well, but babies and women and children. There was a military unit with 24 young women, all of them slaughtered, one of them taken hostage. So this is a horrific situation unfolding right now. Unprecedented. This is not just a terror attack. This is an unprecedented declaration of war. So that's what Hamas has been doing. Sadly, this had succeeded for them beyond belief. And we're going to keep following. The images are horrific. We are editing one video with a bunch of these images because I feel like the world needs to see this. I know this is horrible, and we waited the entire day to not post them. I didn't want to be a part of posting snuff movies, but the fact of the matter is those videos were verified. We're blurring faces, and we're going to post some of them because people need to understand what has Israel been dealing with for a very long time, but specifically today. So this is it. Anything else? Should we take a break? Because I'm going live on TV soon.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Take a break and come back. All right, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back. Pray for Israel.
Thank you, everybody. Please
Thank
join
you.
the broadcast channel. The link is in here. You can find it in Noah and myself's stories.
Great. This is Shani Suisa. Join us, please.
Thank you, guys.